how to connect the smaller ring to the larger ring. When you're putting together the rings, first off, when assembling the machine, make sure you always put the rings together on a flat surface. That way the seams will go together tightly and there will be no rough edges on the seams. Now when connecting or putting the smaller of the two rings together, you're going to have two what we call sets of C-clamps here, short standoffs, which there's going to be holes where you can screw them in and connect them. Now, when attaching the second ring to the smaller ring, these two clamps on this smaller ring are where they're going to attach onto the ring at the bottom. Each ring has a seam in the very middle on the bottom. What you're going to do, let me have to turn around here, is you're going to get the two seams aligned up together, pick it up, and just push it, snap it on. Well, that's not correct there. Here we go. Okay. Push it. Push it. Now that's where the rings attach on the bottom. And then you take these standoffs here and bring them up and align the clamp to match the angle of the ring. And that's where they will attach onto the top. So you're going to have the two short standoffs aiming towards each other to the inside, coming out and connecting at the very top. So now the smaller of the two people, or whoever's using the smaller ring, gets on and swings on the smaller ring. Then when the taller person wants to use it, you just take that off, swivel that arm down, take this off, swivel this arm down, pop it off, and that's it. Now, one other little hint that I may want to give folks as far as setup of the machine, in the directions of putting the machine together, it instructs you to put sand in the base piping of the unit in order to weight it down so that when you're using the exercise cords, these cords are putting tension against your swing. And when you take your backswing, a lot of times the machine will move. By putting sand in the base piping here, that'll put enough weight on the machine to where it will not move. Now, if you're in a situation where you're up north in a garage area over the winter months, where you're going to be taking the machine down and putting it back together on occasion, where you don't have an area to leave it up all the time, what we do here is we have about a 5-pound sandbag, which you just lay over the back base of the machine. That way, it mobilizes the machine won't move at all. If you want to take the machine apart on a partial basis, by taking these 4 pins where you adjust the swing plane of the machine, you take the 4 pins off at each juncture. This ring will disengage from the base. You can take your ring. Without the ring here, the 2 top legs will collapse right down to the ground with the bottom legs. You take your base and you take your ring, and you can hang it on a wall in your garage. We use bicycle hooks. It takes about 1.5 minutes to take apart and 1.5 minutes to put back together again. But if you're going to do that, you're not going to want to be dumping sand out and putting sand back in all the time. So we just use about a 10-pound sandbag, lay it over the back base. That way, when you're using it, the machine doesn't move. When you want to take it apart, you just take the sandbag off. There's no mess. Very easy to do. Before I leave you, one other thing I want to address to you folks. We have what's called a head and hand stabilizer. It's an optional attachment that we offer to you folks. And it's very helpful to individuals, especially beginning golfers, but to any individual who feels that they have a problem coming off the ball, swaying too much side to side as they swing the golf club, or lifting up and down. And this piece of equipment is designed to force the golfer in their swing when they go back, to train them to keep their head still so that they are turning around their spine, pivoting around the spine. A lot of golfers have a tendency to want to sway off the ball and sway back through, and by doing that, it's going to make for very inconsistent ball striking. You'll hit behind it, you'll top it sometimes, and individuals also have a tendency when they swing to want to lift up, especially women because of physical body build. A lot of women have a tendency because of breast to want to have to lift up and swing underneath, or to swing too much around. Therefore, they have too much head to head, head side to side, or lifting up and down. Now this piece right here, the pole part of it is going to align up with the middle of your forehead, right down your spine angle, and it is designed to force the golfer to stay properly in the swing, therefore not coming out of it, to pivot around their spine rather than to sway side to side. There's a piece that comes off of it here which is geared towards hand position, forcing a golfer to come back through impact point with his hands on plane so that his club face is coming back square towards his target. It's going to let you know if you're coming inside out with an open or outside in with a closed face, which is going to give the golfer a slice or a draw spin on the ball. Now, let me show you very quickly here how this works. What you want to do as you get yourself addressed squarely inside the trainer, you want to set this out outside the machine, and this pole here swivels back and forth, okay? Now see right there, you want to get it to the proper angle of the plane, okay? As you can see, this right here is the same angle as this plane is right here. Now, as you sole your club to the ground, bring it back to rest against the ring in the address position, and you take your proper stance, you're going to rest this pole lightly against your forehead. Now the object, without using the hand part right now, is to take a golf swing, backswing, downswing, and follow through, and keep this pole against your head, forcing you to rotate around your spine to get a proper hip and shoulder turn rather than to sway back and forth. So the object, and it may be a little uncomfortable at first, but it takes a while to get used to, but believe me, once you do, and you step outside the machine with this pole not there, you'll be amazed at the proper hip and shoulder turn you'll get and the proper leg drive because of it. Just take your swing, and you may want to start off with about a half-speed swing at first, making sure that club at the top of your swing is on the left. Your head's going to move slightly. It's going to move over towards the left center of your forehead or the top ball of your head. Then as you swing through, it's going to come over to the right side. Now, the old theory years ago was that the head didn't move at all. But through modern camera work, stop action pictures, it's known now that the head does slightly move, an inch and a half on the backswing, and there again on the follow through. But if this comes off to your left shoulder on your backswing or your right shoulder on your follow through, that's too much side to side movement, and that's letting you know right away that you're swaying too much, and this will help correct that. Now, this piece right here, the main focus of this piece right here is hand position. Okay? When you're in the address position, this piece right here can move up and down depending on the height of the golfer that's going to use it. So when you bring that pole forward and get the pole centered correctly, you get it to hand height. The foam rubber piece is telescopic, moves in and out. It's not going to hurt you when you swing through if your hands hit it. And what you do in the address position is you set it about an inch from your hands. Once you get a little better, you can bring it in a little bit closer. But the object, as you come through, making sure that pole is against your head, is not to hit that piece of foam. Now, if you do hit the piece of foam rubber, that's going to be telling you that either one, your hands are coming on you're getting your hands back too far on your backswing. They're not even with the ring as I told you they should be. So if your hands are coming too far back, you're going to come on a natural inside-out path and come across the line. Or if you're at the top of your swing, if you're getting your hands out in front of the ring and not on plane, you're going to have that's a natural tendency to want to swing outside in. So as you come down through, your hands are going to hit that piece of foam rubber because they're coming outside in, or they're going to hit it because your hands are coming inside out. So if your hands come through without hitting it, that's just letting you know that your hands are coming back through, therefore your club face is coming back square towards your target.